before we get into the video, I'd just like to thank James and Emma at the Sserco UK team for giving me the opportunity to film with Adam and Jack. Adam's been one of my favourite riders since I was a kid, and I've known Jack since I was younger, so having the opportunity to film with these guys during the day and do some interviews and stuff means a lot. Great opportunity for me. Involving the interviews, don't expect too much. I've not really got the equipment for podcasts and interviews, but I'm working on it. It costs money. All this stuff costs money, but I'm going to work on trying to get some more stuff, and hopefully down the line we can get some more interviews like these, get up the production level of them, make them 10 times better. But hopefully what I've managed to capture is all right. I think it's all right for what I've got. So hopefully enjoy. Make sure you like, subscribe. Subscribing doesn't cost a thing. Just click that red button on the channel and you are subscribed. It means a lot, boosts the channel and everything. So it'll mean a lot to me for everything I'm doing. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video and keep an eye out for all the Scottish 6-day videos that's coming up. Hope you enjoy. So we're at AG Bikes today with Jack Price doing a last bit of practice before Scottish 6-day. Are you going to be out on the bike anymore after this, or is this your last run?
I've got a little show tomorrow with the On The Edge boys, but then just up some obviously dry obstacles and metal obstacles, but that's it. And then that's my last ride in a river, I guess. So.
Yeah, I've heard you've put a lot of effort in the last few weeks, so I imagine you want to rest before the Scottish.
Yeah, my body's feeling pretty tired now. To be honest, I don't really start riding until sort of end of February, beginning of March, so it doesn't really give me loads and loads of time to get ready for it. So yeah, it's 2 months, but it's like an intense 2 months. But yeah, this week's been sort of the last week. I knew it was going to be the last week of me riding, so yeah, flat out, and then just give the body a rest this week, and yeah, rest and recover.
Yeah, so obviously you've transitioned over to enduro, hard enduro. Does those kind of events help you anyway in the Scottish with endurance or things like that?
Yeah, not consciously. I don't consciously think, oh, because I did enduro this has helped or whatever, but yeah, definitely I don't feel as though I struggle with the sort of the fitness side of it. It is a long week. I think everybody's tired either mentally or physically, but yeah, I think it's got to have a lot of benefits because the extreme enduro events are so intense and tiring, so I think yeah, it's got to have a benefit.
Yeah, so obviously you won last year. Good timing.
Very good timing.
Obviously first time winning it. I think, didn't you take the lead on day 4 or 3 around there?
To be honest, I can't really remember. I know that I had a fairly good start to the week. I think I was joint leader after the first day, but I've had the yellow board after the first day quite a lot. But then I was lost it, so I think I did end up losing it then. Wednesday was my early day. To be honest, I didn't really ride that good on my early day. Well, no, that's probably not true. I rode quite good, but then had given a few away at the end of the day, which was a bit of a shame, really. But yeah, I think I got it back on Thursday because it was the really wet day for everybody else.
That was your late day, wasn't it?
It was my late day, yeah, and managed to. I think the water did drop a little bit, so. I
imagine you were watching the live streams, getting ready, and thinking.
I was literally laid in bed, and obviously because it's my late start, like 12 o'clock. I'm looking at the videos, thinking, oh, and I'm like looking at the live scores as well, and people are dropping a lot of marks.
Yeah.
But I knew that I still had to go out and do exactly the same, so it did make me a little bit nervous to go out. But I think in the end, it actually made the sections a lot grippier. The loose rocks had come out. The water hadn't dropped that much, but I think the sections were better when I rode them. But
yeah,
fortunately, it's one of them. I've been on the bad end of it sometimes, and that time was on the good end of it. So
yeah. So obviously you won it. What was that feeling like after you won it? Because you've won the Scot 4 times now, which is the same as Sammy Miller and Graham Jarvis.
Yeah.
You're going to want to go for the 5th again.
Yeah,
I imagine. But what was it like winning the Scottish being your first time?
yeah. The Scottish has been one of them where it's just sort of never fallen good for me in the week, and that whether that's my prep or it's what happened. But I think I went away for 5 years and then came back last year, and kind of I had expectations myself, but nobody else really had any expectations. Sherco would put a lot into me because they obviously believed that we could have a good result. Um, but I felt as though it was the only thing that was really missing from my trials career that I really wanted to add. So yeah, it was unbelievable to add it, and obviously we're trying to do the same again this year.
Yeah. So obviously Adam's riding this year, one of the big riders. In my opinion, there's about 7 or 8 riders that ride that could easily take the win through the week. But is Adam the one that you're going to want to beat since you've been practicing with him quite a lot, or are you just going to get your head down, focus on what you need to do, and not worry about anyone else?
I think it is a bit of that. I think this, like you say, there is potentially probably 10 riders that could all win it. Realistically, and if it lands good for them that week, then obviously it's going to be really hard to beat whoever it is. But I think Adam obviously is riding now. He's only retired last year.
Yeah.
Well, this year. So he's obviously riding at a really, really high level still. So it's been good to train with him and probably practice the sections that he's wanting to do. I think the 6 days is probably a little bit lower level than that.
Yeah.
So,
It's like I always hear people say, "Oh, Raga will never be able to do the Scottish 6 day," but like
it's just
their skill level, it's silly to say that.
Yeah, it's so high, and many I've seen on social media and everything like that. A lot of people have been predicting and saying what they think. Some people say that he's going to piss it. Some people say that he's going to be nowhere near. I've been with Adam for the last 2 days, and I still don't know how it's going to go. So his riding level is really good, but it's 6 days, and he's only done it once 25 years ago. So
Yeah.
experience does play a lot.
He got ninth that time, so he definitely. I don't imagine he wants to get anything but first.
Yeah, no,
So-
he's not coming for anything apart from a win. But yeah, like you say, there's 10 people that can all win it. Yes, obviously I want to beat Adam, but I want to beat everybody else as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of them where you just set off Monday morning, and you're riding against yourself. Try and drop as least marks as you possibly can throughout the week. Yeah, towards the end of the week, if you've got a gap or you're chasing, you've got to manage that. So maybe a safe one if you've got a few mark lead, or if you haven't, then obviously holding on to things. You've got to play it a little bit safer or riskier towards the end of the week if you are wanting that result. But yeah, it's I think just set off at least the first half of the week just doing your own thing.
Yeah. So we mentioned how enduro might possibly help you with the Scottish, but when did you start enduro again? Was it around 2019? That's when you stopped riding trials.
No, so I still rode World Championship in 2020.
Yeah.
And then it was the end of that. So I got an enduro bike sort of November, December, I think, of 2020. So 2021 was sort of my first year of proper riding enduro. So
Yeah, so a lot of people say trials is like the fundamental to help you in any other two-wheel sport. How did that help you going into endurance? Because we've got riders like Billy Ball, Bright Ball brothers that have had a good career in trials and they've just taken off.
Yeah, for sure. I think it gives you a lot of. It's just skill on the bike.
Some people say lines as well.
Yeah,
trials
lines.
riders can see the line that other people can't.
The way that you got to think. I think there's so many things that are a foundation from trials that can pass over, and then obviously you've got to work really hard to make them things that you learn from trial help with sort of enduro or, like you say, road racing or motocross or anything like that. But yeah, I think it's a good base. I think it's probably the safest motorsport and probably cheapest that you can do at a young age, and then obviously then you can convert to anything you want really after that. So yeah,
because at a young age I remember seeing you a lot as a kid, because obviously you rode a lot of Bracken Rocks with Mansfield Mourne. You mentioned previously in Danny's podcast how one of your first trials was at Mourne, and I was talking to you earlier, I think I had your gas rev and go with you pull
the pull
right, and then you're off.
I used to just fly around in first gear and then go to my dad and say, because I couldn't pull it out because I wasn't strong enough because I was too young.
I was the same.
And then used to pull it out, and then like you say, used to be off. Then in second gear, it used to be fast.
Yeah. But I remember seeing there was you and your beat. Billy Bolt had that green beat and everything.
Yeah.
So that grew up watching you at the youth trials, and like everyone was at Bracken Rocks those days.
Yeah, for sure.
Today, not so much because the youth is a bit up and down.
Yeah, it's a strange one at the moment
as well.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I don't really know what it is. I think time just do move on.
Yeah.
and trends do change and stuff like that. We were just riding the bikes to enjoy it, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we did it, and we fairly chilled down there. So yeah, that's it.
Well, back to the Scottish Ssdt. Is there a day where you know a group is on that one and you're not a fan of it? Is there a certain group through the week where you're thinking, I'm hoping that I'm either late on it or it's just not wet, it's nice this year?
No. Just purely because I think it will probably have a negative effect, negative effect or a detrimental effect. I think subconsciously I probably do have a few of them, but I don't want to then say, oh, I'd hate this section or I hate this section, because before you even get there, then you've already...
You basically said
you're on the back hand of
the
back foot, so... I don't think so. Town Hall Bray when you're leading is not very nice. Just to finish off.
There's a lot of people, because obviously it's on the Saturday, so the kids aren't at school and the walls are full, there's people everywhere. And especially when I was there last year, some people are just in the way of the section. You don't want a situation where you're claiming a ball, because it can just throw you off. Yeah, no,
it's one of them where it's supposed to be a ride through, but it's actually got quite tricky over the years, and it can be quite slippy. So
I was watching it last year, and the amount of people that just weren't cleaning it. I'm thinking, it used to be really easy. Like my granddad rode it in like the 70s, and it was just a path, no railings. And no one used to watch it because it's boring. But right, we're going to finish off with two, we can call them games of sort. I'm going to ask you basically this or that, and first one that comes to your head, and then after that we're going to do like a Scottish Day Dream Team. So I'll explain that one off after. So we'll start with this or that. First up, do you want a muddy and wet trial or a nice dry trial?
Nice dry trial. Don't have to wash my bike then.
Yeah. 2-stroke or 4-stroke?
2-stroke.
British events when you're riding them, or the world events?
World events.
World events. Trials or enduro?
Difficult.
Yeah.
50-50. That's my only 50-50 one.
Okay. Stop or no stop?
Stop.
And finally, would you rather win a second Scottish 6-day trial or win your 5th Scot in a row?
Oh no.
It's a tricky one. I spoke to a few people today, and it's like some people said the Scot because you were the first one to get 5 in a row, but the Scottish is 6 days long, and it's a lot.
Could I have another 50-50 one?
I think people are going to want an answer.
I know. I don't know if I can give one. That is a really, really difficult question. I'm gonna go wrongly or rightly, very close. Probably a 5th Scot.
Yeah.
Just because I grew up watching it, and I just feel as though it's like one of them that I would like to be the only one that's done it. And also, it's my favourite trial of the year.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those, like, not like the Scottish as well, where a late day could mess you up. It's one day, one event, and it's straight through. Whoever wins it has fairly won it, and you can't say, oh, I had a late day. Or...
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. I love the 6 days, and it's definitely, I think, more well known around the world, so you could say it's a more prestigious event. But yeah, for me, I think probably 5th Scot.
Like some people will say the later riders will have it easier because it's bedded in. It's like, following on from that, I was talking to Richard Timpley, and we were on about how we think the British Championship should go back to where everyone gets to ride a lap. So the sections are bedded in, and then everyone's on fair play round. Do you agree with that, or would you think it has its positive and negative sides to that? Because section's a bit much as well. You could also be like, okay.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea.
Yeah. Are you riding the British Championship this year, or did you just turn up, I think, at Scarborough? And
yeah, no, I was just turning up just to ride.
Where they weren't from the ACU there, apparently.
Yeah, no.
I've been told there was, but people who didn't see anyone. Yeah. Touchy subject.
Yeah.
Just the words ACU is a bit of a...
But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a practice lap is good, but then it just...
You've then possibly got to make the sections harder, which could lead to people getting it wrong and more dangerous because that practice lap makes the section easier, possibly.
Yeah, well, not necessarily that, but it makes such a lot of effort for everybody then. So they've got to then, if we're going to arrive on the Saturday to what the sections, they would then have to arrive on the Friday to all the stations, then they've got to do a practice lap.
Yeah.
And then if they want a new tyre on for the Sunday, then they've got to swap the tyres back on the...
That practice lap could mess the bike up.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
then they've got to put a new tyre on for the Sunday, and then they've got to wash the bike.
Yeah.
It just makes a lot more effort. I understand the whole benefit of it, but in principle, I don't know how much it works.
Yeah. Right, last game. So, 6 days. You can pick a rider for each day. You can include yourself. What riders would you pick for a Scottish 6-day dream team? So, a rider per day.
A dream team, does that mean winning or
Winning. To get
social aspect?
the winning. Lowest
Winning.
marks you could possibly get through. Who you put in it.
Okay.
There's certain days might depend on the rider, because Thursday is known to be more of a challenging day, or you might not want a certain day because you don't want to do a certain group. But who would your 6 riders be and why? Some of them will be obvious.
Yeah, I'm going to put myself in. Easy one, I just feel as though one of the days I'd be there or thereabouts. So I will go Monday, because I've always been alright on a Monday. Adam. I would go Adam. Not, what day is Ssdt? Thursday. So I'll put him Friday.
Short day. No lunch break on. No. That's Saturday.
Yeah, Friday, because I think he'll be rolling by that point, and then he's to the back of the group. Zero days on Thursday.
Yeah.
So that's 2. Harry Hemingway, I think he's about 1:30, so I'll put him as Thursday, because that'll be his late day.
Yeah.
I think Doug is early on Friday, so I'll put him Saturday. So I've got Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday sorted. So I need my Tuesday and my Wednesday. Is that right?
Yeah.
So
there's a few riders to pick from still.
that
Yeah.
means,
Like we've got Pieces.
yeah,
Dable can turn up on his day.
yeah. I think Pieces are early Tuesday, so I'll put Jack Peace Wednesday, and I think Billy Green is early Monday, so I'm going to put him Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he doesn't see me much this year, because every time I saw him last year I seemed to get him 5 in it.
Following around with the camera.
Yeah, I'm sure you like that. But yeah, we'll finish up there, and I'll see you up at Scotland, so just say hi to the camera and keep your feet up, hopefully.
That's it.
And we'll see if you can get your second win, and hopefully I'll see you at Scott later in the year, and you'll get that 5 in a row.
Let's try.
No pressure. But,
Right.
yeah,
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers, thank you. So we're here at AG Bikes today. Adam's been with Jack Price, Emma, James all day practicing for last bit of Scottish practice. So the last time you rode was 25 years ago, was it? In 2000?
Yes.
I think you got 9th, so obviously this year I think the only position you're going to be settling with is first, aren't you? You're going to want first place.
It's difficult. Yeah, I know it's difficult. It's a new race for me. I've been there 25 years ago. But I know it's a special race, and the specialist riders that they are riding, like Jack Price or Jack Peace, they are very strong on that kind of race. So it will be not easy, but will be very nice to have it in my goals.
Yeah, perfect. So obviously you've had 25 years experience now, since you've recently retired. I remember seeing 2006, you've been one of my riders I followed when I was a kid. I got a gas when you got a gas. I got one-piece suits because you had one-piece suits. Do you have any one-piece riding gear that stands out as some of your favourites through the years?
Yeah, I love to ride with the one piece because I had all my career a lot of sponsors. I work a lot with the sponsors, and I want to give them the best. So the image when you are paying for a place in your suit, when you have a T-shirt like this and you cannot see in the picture, you cannot see really a logo. So with the one piece, I feel very comfortable, and at the same time, I give an extra thing to the sponsor, and he's always in the picture and he's always happy.
Yeah. So obviously we can see you've got your Red Bull cap on. When was it when you first started your collaboration with Red Bull, and obviously that famous helmet that you always wear?
Yeah, we start in 2006. Back then, to be a Red Bull rider, you must be the best. and that was very important. If you was not the best rider, you could not be a Red Bull rider. Not it's not like now. Now it's different. But when I win the World Championship, the indoor, in this moment was Dougie Lamkin, was still the outdoor World Championship because I won my first indoor in 2003. So I was not still Red Bull, but when I won both championships, indoor and outdoor, in 2005, then I became a Red Bull rider.
Yeah. So, sticking with the World Championships and stuff, I don't personally know, I'm sure some viewers might not know, why number, is it 68 you wear? Why that number?
Yeah, for many years in trial we were not able to change the number of the classification.
Yeah, you used to have bibs, didn't you?
Yeah,
I
we
used
had
to collect them and take them off the riders at the end of the event, get them, I've got a few of yours, muddy and everything.
Yeah, then the bib was very bad because when you want to sell space to a sponsor, you had always the bib on and nobody was happy. But after some years, we go forward and we take off the bib. And I start riding with the 67 because my number, the meaning is the 6 times world champion and 7 times Spanish champion.
Yeah.
But then in 2021, I think I won the Spanish championship again and then became 68.
Yeah.
6 world championships and 8 Spanish championships.
Perfect. So, going back to the Scottish 6-day trial, like we said, it's been 25 years. What made you want to compete in it again? What was the deciding factor?
For me, it's a race that I have a lot of respect and I've been following 6 days since I'm a kid because my father is a trial lover and in my family we always talk about trial. So for me it's a big respect for that competition and I think it's very difficult to win. When I came in 99 and 2000 I was very far away of winning, but now I understand much better trial. I understand much better what I have to do these sections good. I've been working a lot in these kind of sections on finding the lines, the rhythm, and all this. We've been working a lot with the Sherco UK team, and I feel very good, and I feel very confident.
Yeah. So, like you say, you've been working with Sherco UK. What's it been like working with them? I know James and Emma put a lot of effort into trials, especially on social media since taking over Sherco UK. What's it been like over there? How many weeks, months you've been preparing for this? What's it been like with them?
I was telling Sherco that I will be interested on ride 6 days, and then after the indoor in Barcelona, Albert Casanovas is the manager of the Sherco in Sherco. He proposed me to ride, and then James fast say, okay, then we need a working plan.
Yeah.
So we start with a working plan. We make 4 days training some weeks ago. Now 3 days more, and also I train at home thinking on this competition.
Yeah, perfect. So in the Scottish trial, there's a few riders that throughout your World Championship career have rode against roadways, such as Dougie, James Dable, who have been some of like the toughest people but also most enjoyable people to ride against during your career.
Yeah, all the British riders, they were all very technical and very good in muddy conditions, but especially Dougie was one of my reference because when I started riding World Championship he was winning everything, and he had a big gap with me at the beginning, so I was looking a lot on his riding style and how he can manage to make, like in one race, 50 points less than me.
Yeah.
So I analyzed his riding for many years and I tried to beat him until I could do it.
Yeah, so I've seen it a few times today, and some people spoke about your world famous Dougie impression that you like to do. I've heard it myself today, and it's quite accurate, to be fair. Going back onto the world events, are there any events that have stuck out in your career as either most enjoyable or some that you thought, wow, that was a really difficult trial?
Yeah, I remember my first British round in Ireland was incredible, and sometimes when I speak with Dougie, he still remember me because I was completely lost. I arrived with no experience at all, riding in muddy conditions. That was the goal why I came to England in 2000. I came to live in England and ride the British Championship, but that was the first race. So
Yeah.
just arrived, we go to Ireland, and the race was horrible.
Yeah.
Raining, muddy, ice, everything happened. And I don't know, I was going in the section and I don't know if take the straight line, go on the right, go on the left. I was so lost, but I learned so much from there that helps me a lot on my career.
Yeah, by the sound of it, Dougie's had a big help in your career. I remember at obviously Fort William, where we're going for the Scottish Six Day, the 2011 World Championship there. Obviously, there's a group that you'll be riding. That was where those sections were. I remember seeing and speaking to Dougie, and he showed me with you in the back of the gas tent with the 2011 Raga TXT Pro, was it the white and black one?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. I thought, wow, I'm in a trailer with Adam Raga and Dougie Larkin. This is crazy. But I think did you win that one? I remember you winning in Fort William.
I think I win, and yes, we had many different moments with Dougie, contenders. Then we've been like teammates. Then he was the manager, and many different things. And yes, back there, I think he was not riding, no, or
I think he just
yeah,
stopped. I
just
think
stopped.
he rode that one as a one-off because there's a few
yeah.
photos of him in the practice zone. Because I remember
Yeah.
it was quite a hot round, so everyone
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "Oh, it's going to be muddy. British riders are going to excel." And then it was really warm.
Yeah.
The riverbeds were dry, and they had the rock sections of the car park. I think that was the same year that Dougie and Fuji had the push bike race down the mountain as well. So everyone went into that, and then obviously you went and won it. Has there been many British rounds you've won, or?
In British rounds, in 2000, I think I don't remember if I won one round. I think one round maybe I win, and then some podiums. But I was struggling. The reason to come here is to learn from the best. In this moment was Dougie, was Jarvis, Colley. So most of all the best riders in the world, they were in England, and it was one of the reasons coming here and learn from all.
Yeah. Finally then, looping back to the Scottish Six Day Trial, is there anything that you're really looking forward to specifically, or is there any advice that Dougie's either called you up or Jack's told you, James and Emma? What kind of advice have they given you ready for this event and what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, many. I get many advice from Emma and James. They are trying to show me in the right direction. I don't know, but like when the early days, it's hard because they are slippery. We're talking about the timings, about all the things from the Parc Fermé and everything.
Yeah.
We are trying to get everything under control, and let's see.
Yeah, that's one of the most challenging things, because an individual trial, everyone's a level playing field, but if it's bad weather and you're an early day, it can ruin your week.
Yeah.
So we'll fingers crossed for good weather.
Yeah, last week when I was riding in Santiago, I had a very bad weather on the second day, and the riders that were riding at the beginning, they had a lot of advantage, and the riders at the end, we had a terrible race because it was muddy, everything was destroyed. So yes, it's important to have also a little bit of luck.
Yeah. So next time I'll see you is up at Scotland. I'll be doing interviews in Parc Fermé, so I'll make sure to get you over again. If you see me at the sections, my mum will be somewhere. She carries a tub of sweets for any riders to get, so help yourself to the sweets to keep you going.
Okay.
And hopefully you have a good week, and hopefully we have decent weather for it, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
No problem, and I'll see you up there.